Hey everyone, it is WHM Brick Bros back with another video, and today I will be showing you General Grievous's Starfighter. This is a great set. I just picked it up over Thanksgiving. A great deal on it. I got it for $55 instead of its normal cost of $70. And now that it's retired, the price has gone way up. So it's retiring this year, and like I usually won't sell them after a couple months before it officially retires. So I picked it up just before that. I got it for $55. A great deal. It's released a while ago. I just haven't gotten to pick it up yet. And so today I will be showing you how to improve this. It's a great set just to start, but there are definitely some problems with it, and I just don't love. Now, first of all, this General Grievous's figure, is awesome. I mean, it's great to get another of my first of him. Really well done. The legs are really nice. Definitely love the way this figure looks. If you call it a figure, I would count it as a figure. Great figure. And then this is a really awesome. Love the way this Airborne Trooper looks. This is a 212th Airborne. Really, your classic clone face. I love that face, but just the helmet just looks so good and so well done. The back is, not super interesting, but it's so nice looking in my opinion. But one improvement that I did make was I took this thing, and Lego is doing this with the new minifig pack, and you could either do this, you put it on the end. That's a really nice looking one, that looks really good. Then it kind of imitates the Clone Wars sleek blaster. You could also do that with a small blaster, but I didn't really like the way that looked either. That's, not very good looking. I decided, and I was just kind of messing around with adding different pieces to blaster. This is what Lego calls, I guess, their Mandalorian blaster. They do also give it to, some of the clones, too, for Clone Wars sets. Like, the Bad Batch had all these. And if I just take one of these blasters and stick this piece, I don't know, I think it's like a candlestick piece on top, like that. It actually looks really nice with the figure, and you may like it being on this better, and that's the same. And, I don't have a lot of these. I just have them from Bad Batch stuff, and I have a bunch laying around because I think I ordered some. Because you can't order these on Lego.com. Unlike other custom blasters like this. But I think this is a nice looking blaster. Or you have this, and now that I look at this, maybe this looks a little better. But whatever you want, you can do that. That's just my first improvement. Now let's get, and then Obi-Wan is really nice looking. I love the whole printings. Really good figure. Awesome to get that, because I have not gotten a Clone Wars figure yet. Alright, so just going to ship, some of the nice things are, I love these side compartments where you can put all of General Grievous's 4 lightsabers. Really nice there, and if you want his arms to collapse when he's in a ship, I found you could throw him in there too. It's a nice flavor. The only thing I don't love is you have to put him in this red thing, and the best way to do that is just to put him back, otherwise it won't close. So that's a really nice, I think, play feature that I just like to have. And that's nice. Same thing on both sides. So you put 2 lightsabers on both sides. Nice feature. Overall, nice build. You've got some little black on. You do have a real tiny red spot there, but I don't mind that. Because, you're not really looking at it from the bottom. A nice flick fire missile. I do not have a missile in it right now. I don't love it compared to, some of the other sets I've gotten recently. Like, the A-Wing had an awesome flick-fire missile that really shot far. There's a Resistance A-Wing, that's a set. I'll probably do an improvement video for that soon. Thinking about, adding a sliding cockpit like this one. That was my next thing. I do love the sliding cockpit. How it slides open just like it does in the Clone Wars or in the movies. And then there's a lot of interest by me about this back thing. goes up and down, right? And maybe Lego on the box had it landed like this, and then when it was flying, it was like this. But I didn't really get that. It seemed like more should land like this and fly like this, but again, this still looks kind of weird. And so I looked it up and online, and all the photos that I found had it like this. So that's really what I'm going to be improving today. If you don't want to change this, you want to have this feature, I don't really know what it's meant to be made like. I just couldn't connect it in any other way. They could have at least made it like stay. I don't really know what their goal was there. Maybe in the third movie or the Revenge of the Sith, maybe it was like this when it landed, but I couldn't find any photos, and when I rewatched some of the Clone Wars, it was like this when it landed. I think. Pretty sure. But overall, that's basically what I'm going to do in this video. Other than that, the only other thing I was going to improve was just this interior, taking out these and replacing those because I just don't love that look, and it doesn't look great. But that's about it. Not much else is going to happen here. But without further ado, let's get into the improvement part of the video. Alright, so, first of all, I've already done it right here, but just take out these things. Throw them aside, get rid of them, whatever. And then pop this thing off, and you'll notice inside you've got your... It's kind of like an open space. Now, this place we're going to fill up completely and make this black look a little nicer. I am going to replace these two black pieces with some dark gray ones just to make it all look a little better overall. I will also replace these with some dark gray. You know, just different things that will make it look better. Just in general. But I do also want to mention... This was a very well done technique here. I really like the way that looks. So I'm not going to be changing anything else besides this back part. And I didn't love how this... for whatever reason, now it's staying a little more sticky. So I'm not actually going to mess around with that. I did try some different techniques to hold this in place once it was here. Because I felt like it was kind of flying around a little too much. If you just like bumped it. But I think it's gotten a little more sticky for whatever reason, and I couldn't really figure out a good way that looks good. So I got some ways, but it didn't really work for look. So we're going to get in. I'm going to show you all the parts that we're going to need, but I do have to grab some. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just take, first of all, I'm going to get my 2x3s. You know, those are going to go right back here. They're going to connect. It's not a big deal. Not huge, nothing. So I'm just going to move that aside. So once you have that, you know, it's just a basic kind of starting point just to get rid of those. And then those two right there. We're going to get rid of those and make them dark gray. So I've got my bin, and you've got two dark gray. We're going to have a lot of these. But two dark gray ones of those are going to just replace those weird colored pieces that I don't know the color for. Maybe it's like reddish brown, orangish brown. I'm not really sure. And then you're going to need some more. So you're going to need a 2x4. That's a brick. A 2x4 fly piece. These are mostly in dark gray. And then you are going to need 2, 4, and you're actually going to need 3 more. I don't have it with me right here. But a total of 7. Maybe it seemed like a lot, but 7 flat 2x4s. And again, in this case, I'm not really sure why I didn't do this, but you could just use 2 2x2 bricks and then 1 extra. It's really all you need. But I got a bunch of 2x4s and I got a bunch of dark gray, so I might as well. So I'll do that. I'm not really sure where that bin is, anyways. So that's gonna go like that. Then these two can be in any color. They will not be seen whatsoever. I decided to use brown because brown's kind of useless in what I do with Star Wars. Unless I'm trying to build an Ewok village, which I'm not at the moment. So, I'm going to use brown. Again, same thing with this 1x2. The command color won't be seen. Then you got to have some of these guys that stick out. These aren't crucial. I mean, I guess they're not crucial, but they need to be there if you want to have the right look. So, that's important. But other than that, it's pretty basic, not too complicated, and I think it'll work out well. Actually, you're gonna need one more of those, and then one more 2x4. So that's all the pieces. Very minimal, not a lot, but it improves that look so much. So I'd recommend grabbing one of your brick removers. I've got 20 million, so it's not too hard to always find one of those. Like I've got one over here. I think I have one over there. You know, when you collect Lego sets, you end up with a lot of brick removers, and that just kind of seems like something that happened. So, to get started, we are going to rip off these. Now, those are just going to come off, not just because we're trying to change out these pieces, but we're adding a piece in here, and so those don't really work to be there. And then also, we can't do this on camera really very well, but this piece is going to come off, so it looks just like this on the side. It's a big piece to come off. You know, it looks terrible. Looks like really bad. Right here. That's basically what makes the cockpit look good. I just removed all those pieces. So now we're just going to fill it all back in. So remove your weird reddish, orange, whatever you want to call it, brown pieces. And throw them aside. Get rid of them. Whatever you want to do. Put in your nice looking dark bluish gray. Right here. So right now I don't need a brick remover. But then you're just going to pop these pieces right back on. So really you're only pulling those off to put those on. And it doesn't really work to like just keep it, don't do it that way. Because that's just not really the way Legos work. But once you get that, you've got a much nicer looking cockpit. And you can also replace these with dark gray. I don't have any, like, right now. I know they're a light gray, but I don't know if they're a dark gray. I'll have to go looking for that. Because I'd like to. I definitely have to order them, but I'm not really sure why Lego didn't do dark gray. Maybe in this, I didn't look at the cockpit. Maybe it's not dark gray in the Clone Wars or something. I don't know. Again, yeah, you'll see just kind of drops like that. I don't like that. But now we're actually going to start doing the more cooler, better stuff. So, you know, just to start, put these two together. That's just going to need to be a little thicker. Going to be a little bit better. Put your whatever you want to call it here, and that is important right there, because that's actually filling in a gap that's actually there, because I'm not really sure why, but the way we do this creates a gap of like half a plate, so those do a really nice job, and they'll just hook right on, and this back part will still have a gap, but that's all completely covered up, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, so once you have that, you're going to throw this piece on right there. And you can also just kind of like put it in there and see, oh, that's where it's going to go. It's going to go right there. This guy's going to go up here. If you connect this on, what is missing, and you'll see, notice, I don't think the camera's going to show it. But what you're going to need is your brown. This is the part that's not going to be seen. At least I don't think. No, it won't. Don't worry. And your two brown 2x4s. And, you know, you can use dark bluish gray if that's what you want to do. But you don't need to. Oh, I offset it. Whoops. Alright, well, so technically those actually is not the way you place it. Because then it'd be overhanging. So it all needs to move up. Meaning that I don't think this dark bluish gray piece is supposed to be here. Oh, of course, it's not. Okay, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. If you'll just I usually like take something like this. I'm pretty close, like a bass plate or something. But, you know, just, you have to kind of work it off. It's not easy, and that's why I use a brick remover a lot. So I'll just stick it down, pop that one off, then pop that one off. So this one actually goes on the bottom. Sorry, I got mixed up. So continuing from there, you're doing the same thing, but like that, and then you're going to put the tour on top there. So you have this kind of like steps, and that you'll notice down here, except for the steps are here, and then this part's going to be under this part over here, which you can already do, and just stack up 6 of your thin 2x4s or 2 of your 2x4 bricks. This thing will sit right there. Obviously, it's going to flop around. It doesn't work quite right. Well, that's how it works right now. So, take your 1x2, your 2x4, and switch it around so it's just like that. That actually could be to 2x3. So, it's like that, this thing, and then it'll sit perfectly in there. And you'll notice this thing will, and it's not quite right. Yeah, once it's all the way down there, there is a tiny gap. And it's, again, half. But there's nothing that I can put there that will actually line up correctly with that piece. Here, I don't know why it's not focusing. Maybe it is. It just can't take something this close. Now it'll focus. That's interesting. But there's no way to get rid of it. So I'm okay with that as long as you have this really nice back that doesn't look really nice right now. But I did realize I forgot to get a piece. And that piece is a 2x2. So the importance of this 2x2 is, here we go. You're going to want a dark bluish gray 2x2. So that 2x2 right here, or not 2x2, 1x2, sorry, is going to go under here. So if you pop that up like this and you stick that in there, it doesn't really want to go in. So I don't know what just fell. Something fell. But basically, you're going to pull this out so it's like this, and you don't really want to stick it all the way in. Tilt it like that. Okay, the 2x2 fell. That's what happened. Okay, so I was wondering why it wasn't staying. Alright, so again, put it on. It's going to force it out. You don't need to pull it all the way out, but I did, again. And you can push it in most of the way. And then you just want to get it in position so it's basically, it doesn't have to be perfect. And push it in all the way. And then it's going to keep tilting this way. And I don't like that. But I don't really know how to fix that. Because you can't stick a piece there. That's the problem. They've sloped this off really nicely. Done a great job. And then there's that spot right there where I can't put a piece. So it will do that a little. You just kind of got to avoid that. And like that. But once you put this on here, it doesn't really want to. It's going to move around a little. You know, there's still a little wobble. I don't know if you can see that. Just the way it's designed. But it's very sturdy, actually, surprisingly. So you'll notice this isn't even hooked in, and you might be wondering how it hooks in. Now, you could put a 4 right there. I don't really need to do that. All I need is to stick this thing on top, and it actually holds it right in place, just like so. So it's all the way down, and you've got a nice, completely dark gray, except for this thing. Maybe I should switch that out. Not a huge deal. It's going to get covered up when it closes up. But if you look inside, it's a little too dark. But, you know, before you could definitely really see that tan, right? Because if I throw those tan pieces, alright, I don't have the exact tan pieces. But if I put this tan piece, you can definitely see that, right? Well, it's hard to see the dark gray because that's the way the windshield is tinted. They tint it with dark gray because that's just what they like to do, and that's kind of accurate to the shows, so they do that. And then lastly, you know, you can't really get that off with your brick, without a brick remover, in my opinion. Maybe you can. I just don't like to, you know, it's easier, so I just do this way, because that way I don't have to rip off my nails or whatever. And then it just goes in like so, on either side. perfectly dark gray, perfectly in place, a little wobble as you may be able to see, but that just looks so much better. And I am noticing this is loose again for whatever reason. Whatever reason, it'll move around. Sometimes it'll be loose, sometimes it'll be sticky, depending on the time. I'm not really sure why it is, but, you know, that works. And right there, you have our finished product. And again, yeah, Lego doesn't make a light dark gray piece that goes all the way through. So since it is Technic, and it needs to be kind of in this position, it looks nice, right? So I don't really want to mess around with that. And you may be like, I don't love the curve. I mean, it's not a huge deal for me, but, you know, looking at it from the back, it doesn't look the greatest. And maybe you can move this thing up like this or something. But there'd be a gap that entire length. And I just don't really think that would look great. And it's only like a single thing. I feel like it needed to turn into two up here because that would look weird. And I don't even know if you can do that really very smoothly. Like, this is a very smooth model. And I do understand that it's kind of like coming to an end. And maybe you want to continue this. But I think it looks really nice. And maybe that's something with the black being there. It kind of like doesn't look so much like that. But I think it looks really nice overall. And I just think it's a great improvement. A great way to add it. Yeah, you may have your stitches, but I don't actually mind them. And I guess it still looks maybe a little better. You can just rip them off completely. You don't even have to keep these. Maybe you want a little up, maybe it has that kind of thing. Maybe you put another one, or you have another one. You put it on the other side. Like, that could be something. Or you try to fit another cannon. I'm not going to go through that in that video. You can be creative with that. But without further ado, that will be the end of this improvement video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe. That'd be very helpful to the channel. And so that's about it. Thanks for watching. This is WHM Brick Bros signing off.